overturn this precedent of Roe v. Wade. There was a little bit more wiggle room in a comment when specifically asked about abortion by Dianne Feinstein of Amy Coney Barrett, but she did acknowledge that there was precedent. She varicated a little bit when asked about whether it was a super precedent. She said she's written scholarly articles on that. So at least two of those three justices did commit to the Judiciary Committee on which you serve that they would not do this. The first time in American history that a conferred right has been taken away. Your reaction?
This is outrageous, Andrea. And actually, I asked Amy Coney Barrett if it was super precedent, and she said it wasn't. And I am not surprised at all by this decision. I think the leaked opinion gave us the guideposts. But the question here is what's going to happen? Look at this map, Andrea. 13 states have automatic triggers so that abortion will be banned. The darker states right here, these states have no exceptions for rape or incest. Then the red states right here, they literally ban abortion as well. That's what we're going to be looking at, a patchwork of laws across the country. And basically the Supreme Court, with the support of Republican senators who put these justices on there, has clearly said that they believe a woman shouldn't have this right to make her own decisions. That they believe, I guess, it should be the government and politicians. Well, guess what? As you're seeing today by the outpouring of opposition to this decision, as we know from the public opinion polls, 80% of the public with us here, they don't want to take away that right. They don't want the women of today to have less rights than their mothers and their grandmas. And they, despite what Justice Alito thinks, do not want to go back not just to the 1950s, but to the 1850s, which is exactly what this decision does.
Senator Klobuchar, Merrick Garland has talked about protecting women who want to travel from one state to another. Some of the people we've interviewed have talked about legislating. Senator Collins, in her statement, says that they will still attempt, I think Senator Kane's bipartisan bill, to codify Roe v. Wade. Can Congress do that? I mean, considering that it's a 50-50 Senate and that you've got at least 13 states with trigger laws and, you know, certainly nearly half the states, 26 states, as you pointed out in your map, where it's going to be illegal, with no exceptions in some.
Andrea, the filibuster, which of course I don't support, I'd get rid of it, but it's a 60-vote threshold. And we have senators out there that are out and out talking about putting in legislation on the Republican side to ban abortion. To me, the answer is simple. It's November. It's the ballot box. That's what it is. And the women of this country and the men that support them, and it is not just Democrats, moderate Republicans, independents, understand this is a step too far. Enough is enough. You cannot get rid of a right that's been there for 50 years with the argument that the word abortion was never in the Constitution. The word woman isn't in the Constitution. She isn't in the Constitution. The Air Force isn't in the Constitution. They are literally taking us backwards. The answer to me is to fight to November and to elect candidates that are going to uphold the woman's right to trust that she can make the decision for herself, between her doctor, with her family, but that they don't want Ted Cruz making those decisions.
And we have a note from D.C. Police, Montgomery County Police. Security presence will be increased in key areas. We assume that is around the homes in Montgomery County, suburban Maryland, of the three conservative justices. There are none of those who voted today who, as far as we know, live in the district. But you're going to see more police presence here. You see the fence now, which has been up since the draft was leaked, since shortly after that, when protests began around the court. The court itself has now become highly politicized in a way that Justice Breyer, in his dissent today, was expressing deep sorrow for. It's something that he has, frequently opined against as he leaves.